Hello everyone, it's Friday night, and after the week at work that I've had, I think it's an impy stout kind of evening. So I've been meaning to review this beer from Big Banana, which is his KBS clone. Awesome label. Some of you may have seen that on the other people's videos that have looked at this beer. And just to make it a bit more interesting, I thought I'd put it side by side with my KBS clone, the Kempston Breakfast Stout. So I'll put some links up to the videos for those in a second and see how they come out. So let's get on it. Okay, so the Kempston Breakfast Stout. Again, there's a whole series of videos about making this and my own kind of initial tasting of it and so on. I don't know if 100% I feel like it's getting better at the moment. Obviously, most imperial stouts you would say will just get better with age, but it's yeah, nearly a year exactly since I brewed it, and I don't know, last few bottles I've had, I don't know whether I feel like it's getting better or not at the moment. I've had a few problems with the carbonation on it, so some of the bottles have got a bit lively. I aged it in a pressure barrel for a while and thought that that extended time would get rid of any issues with the kind of more complex sugars fermenting out over time, but even though it spent all of the summer in the fridge, some of them are still a little bit lively. So let's see if we get a gusher here. None of them have really been gushers so far, but they just have that kind of creeping carbonation that you get with dark beers that have been aged, which means it just starts to, yeah, froth up over the top like that, and we'll normally need a little bit of swirling around in the glass just to knock some of the fizziness out of it. As you can see, it's not too bad, so it's not overflowing the glass or anything, but there's too much fizz in that, so it needs to be left for a moment or two. In the meantime, let's get Big Banana KBS clone into the glass. Whoa, shit. Okay, so apparently this one maybe ended up a little bit lively as well. Fuck. Yeah, the curse of the dark beers. I know a lot of people say with imperial stouts that you can just not prime them at all in the bottle, and yeah, next time I do one, I think I might try that out. But yeah, I always felt like I'd rather, you know, you can get rid of carbonation as long as it's not completely firing out the bottle, but you can't really add carbonation in. But in this case, I think, well, again, that doesn't look too bad now it's in the glass, but it was just a little bit lively. I have had this in the fridge, so I've not you know, left it in the warm anywhere or anything like that, and I've let it warm up a bit. It's still cool, but not as cold as it was. So similar thing to my one, bit of kind of streaming carbonation at the moment, which I don't really want to drink it when it's like that. So give me 5 minutes to clean all the stout off the floor, and hopefully these will be back to a slightly lower level of fizziness. Okay, so I've had a little clean up, and I've also given these a good swirl around in the glass to try and knock a bit of the carbonation out, which seems to have worked. So let's just look at them side by side at the moment. Very similar looking in the glass, so obviously as dark as you like, with a off-white kind of tan creamy top. Although Stephen's one was the one that actually leapt out the bottle, my one seems to be the one that's still fizzing a little bit. So although it looks like that one's holding the head a little bit more from where I am, it's just more because there's still bubbles streaming up the side. I don't think this glass is etched, but maybe there's something in the bottom of that that's just keeping the bubbles coming up. So let's give them a little sniff. The aroma is really similar. I'm maybe getting a little bit more off of the Big Banana version here. So woody, kind of bourbon notes with a bit of chocolate. And yeah, it's kind of the same thing on mine, but I'm just not quite getting as much of it. But I think that might be because the yeah, the head is a little bit thicker on there at the moment. But I'd be hard pressed to tell those two apart at the moment, to be honest. So let's give them a taste. We'll go with Big Banana's version first. So cheers again, Stephen, for sending that to me. Now there was a slight difference in ABV with these. So mine came out at 10%. This is 8.5. Obviously that's still fairly pokey, but both of those are lower than the original, which is usually around 11.5, 12% ish, I think. So flavour wise, very smooth. Yeah, nice hint of the bourbon. I do get quite a bit of chocolate off of this one. Very dangerously easy to drink, that is, but that's pretty good. I think Stephen did his own taste test of this versus the original, and I think came to a pretty similar conclusion to me, that although it had some of the elements of KBS, it wasn't quite, you know, there in terms of the full flavour and the intensity of the flavour. But again, both these beers are a bit weaker. Obviously, I don't think either of us had proper bourbon barrels to age it in, so within reason, they're still pretty close. So the Kempston Breakfast Stout version, I feel like it's maybe a touch drier. With it being a higher ABV, that might be because it's just fermented out a bit more. There's a little bit more of a touch of the roastiness to it, maybe. I don't want to say astringent, but there's a slight fruitiness to this compared to that one. Maybe a little bit more of a bitter chocolate taste to it. So let's go back to Stephen's version and see how they compare. Yeah, I think overall the flavour on this one, Big Banana's version, is a little bit softer, maybe a slightly smoother kind of taste on it. The flavour on my one is perhaps maybe just a touch more intense, slightly different, but on aroma and flavour, they're really, really close together. Yeah, I think you can tell that this one is a little bit more boozy, but it's a lot closer between these two than certainly when I tasted mine against the original version. It is compared to the original. So yeah, and actually, especially now I'm tasting it against somebody else's version, they're both really nice. So well done to you, Stephen, Big Banana, and well done to me. Thank you very much. Yeah, so now I guess I just need to drink both of these and carry on getting shit hammered. So cheers everyone, enjoy your Friday and weekend, and thanks again Big Banana for, hang on a minute, which one's his? This one, for the beer and the rest of the beer mail, and also the beer mats that you sent through, quite a few of which have ended up on the Keezer build, and yeah, there were some good ones there. So cheers.
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or Duder or, you know, El Duderino.